All right, and we're live.
And we're
Jesus
live. Wow.
Christ.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I can't even clear my head from our background. Here.
oh.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Good day.
It's okay. And it's like, it's a start.
Oh yeah.
Week, it's like I said, it's like the personal stuff that we have to go through. I mean, it just makes like all this comic book stuff pale in comparison.
Right? It does.
But, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
It's really not. It's really not. It's just a matter of prioritizing right now. Prioritizing and realizing that some of the shit that we make these mountains of are not even. They're not even molehills.
That's true. It's true. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. It is motherfucking Monday, October 21st, 2024. And this is the Rage Into the Vlogs. Yo.
Why is it the last 3 months? How is it that it's the last 3 months that always seem to like go the fastest? It's like January goes the fastest, and then October, November, December goes the fastest. How does that work?
I don't know. It doesn't math right in my head.
No, it does not. It does not.
This is gonna be a hard one. You want to start?
Yeah. Let's go. All right, hit it.
All right, I asked.
Trigger warning. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Where the fuck are my vitamins?
Oh no, but that's definitely the mood. That is definitely the mood today. Jesus Christ. So hello, Nita.
Hello, Daphne.
And who's joining us today? This day after the hangover that's going to be New York Comic Con. Who's joining? Who's awake today?
Oh, everybody! Holy
everybody!
Shit.
Wow,
what are you guys doing here?
Oh no!
No lives. Good morning, Rob, Grant.
Hello,
Michael, Joseph. Good morning.
Hello, and yes, so we see you, our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. If you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from LinkedIn, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Keep them company, and while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of our shows go live.
For this,
Michael says he set his alarm this time. I don't know.
We have replays. You don't have to get up for this crap.
Oh no, yeah. We barely get up for. We barely set our
yard's been built for what? 15 minutes before we went live or something.
Yeah, I know. It's like, look, every Sunday night, I literally go to bed saying, tomorrow is Monday. We have a show. Tomorrow is Monday. We have a show. I have to do this mantra so that I wake up going, we have a show.
Mine is like this. Alexa, set alarm for 6:30 a.m. Alexa, set. Oh shit, bitch. Normally I gotta yell at it. Okay, so like 15 times, like you know, you get the 7 a.m., 7:15, 7:45.
Oh no, Jose hates it when I do that.
One is the rooster crow at 9 a.m. It's like, bitch, you better move.
All right. Yeah, no. It's like Jose hates it when I do that. My alarm has to go off once and that's it. Or else it's like it disturbs him. It wakes him up, and he no, it's like either he wants to have his full sleep. So.
Well, Mondays it doesn't matter because C is he sets them for me sometimes. He knows to set it.
Right.
I will be like, Alexa, shut the fuck up. Alexa,
No, it's like
But
no,
I
he
think
doesn't.
he just kicks me out of the bed. He's like,
Right.
vlog. And I'm
Right.
like,
No.
"Okay."
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So where were we? So I guess we might as well just get this party started. So
Let's do it.
yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I've been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yo.
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter officially next Monday. Jesus Christ, October 28th. Link is in the show notes and in the chat. This is for volume 1 of the Tears of the Mother story arc, collecting issues 1 through 4 of this 8-issue limited series in one trade paperback, because I said that already. So yes. So it launches next Monday on October 28th. And I am known for my medieval fantasy drama Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter early 2025 with issue 9 of this 16 issue series. No link for that except for eagleworks.com, which you guys know already. So in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics on YouTube here at my channel at Daphne. I'm a mess today, at Daphne Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. Okay, to tell you more about it, here's Mita.
Okay, so it's a Google account. It's Indie Comics Network. It's me, my friends.
Right.
We talk about comics and shit, and you can find it at Indie Comics Net on YouTube, or watch it here on Facebook, or wherever, except for Twitter, until I pay for Twitter, which I am going to pay for Twitter, but you just gotta wait a few minutes because, I want my bills to come in at the same time.
Oh yeah, of course, yes, that's true, yes.
Oh, and if I don't see the boost, we'll leave Twitter too.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's like this whole social media dance is tiresome.
Especially over there.
Yeah, although I started trying to resurrect my Instagram page. Oh, hello. It's like, Lou says I live next to a mini farm, which I call Jurassic Park, and because at night it sounds creepy. Constant alarms from the roosters. I no longer know sleep.
Oh my god.
Oh, hello, Allison. Hello. Yeah, that's the natural. That's all natural waking up. So yeah, it's illegal to keep roosters in the city here. I would know because I used to have one. Yeah, we found Jose had found a chick because we have some halal slaughterhouses nearby, and I guess like when the trucks come, someone made an escape and he found it. And so we kept it for a while until we realized it was a rooster, and that shit was like, hello, it's morning.
You gotta go.
You gotta go because it's not legal to have one here. So we took him literally. Well, this sounds bad. We took him to a farm upstate. We literally did. We literally did. Drove 8 hours
up the river
to a farm in Woodstock, New York, and we brought him there.
Oh my gosh.
We really did. We really did send him to a farm upstate. So today is the hangover day for New York Comic Con. Congratulations, everybody who made it through the weekend.
Tomorrow is officially my COVID test came back positive day.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yes, I hope you all enjoyed your super spreader event for the weekend. But it looked like everybody was doing really well. I was seeing some.
Yeah. It was a very. They even had a fight there this year.
Really, there was a fight.
Yeah.
What happened?
Some covers.
What happened?
Okay, so there was this specific artist, I don't want to name names and stuff right now, who did a special cover and whatnot. And you know the guys that like to like buy up all the books to fucking jack up the prices on the
Oh,
covers.
right. Yeah, the
A pair of them got in a brawl over a fucking cover. It was beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Like two retailers or something? They
Well,
got it.
two price gougers.
Oh, I see. You know, so let them fight.
Yes, that's what
Yeah,
I
let them fight.
said.
Yeah, it's
Nerd
kind of
fights.
like, yeah, watching two invasive species eat each other. It's like, who do I root for? Oh, let them fight. Let's see what happens.
Let them fight.
Yeah, you know, really. So yeah, but it looked like everybody had a good time. It looked like, you know, there was everybody was happy. Everybody looked happy. And of course, like I said, it's like I had like that like, oh, I wish I was there, and then I'm like going, no, I don't, type of thing. You know, it's what I was saying, that it's like, you know, sometimes I miss going to conventions until I'm actually at the convention, and then I'm like going, oh, let's go home.
I want to go home.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
I'm going home.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I don't know. We've done so many of these that it's like, I don't know why I have a weird nostalgia for, well, no, I do know. It's not, and it's not really a nostalgia. What it is like I watch too many of these Artist Alley girly vlogs, and you know, just seeing, it's like, you know, the stuff that they're making, the stickers, the keychains, the elaborate displays that they make, you know, and it's like, I go, oh, I'd like to do that. I go, wait a minute.
Girls, they got the aesthetics down.
Right. Yeah. You know, you know, like I'm kind of imagining taking the wire cubes and like making like a facade for it, so it looks like a little mini castle on the table.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
You know, and it's like, you know, and it's like, I'm kind of wondering, it's like, oh, maybe I could fit in that, in that medieval merchant dress. Maybe I could still fit in that, you know, and then like just do a whole theme. And it's like, wait a minute, what am I doing?
That's exactly what you're doing for Baltimore.
Yeah, it's like, that's, you know, that was, yeah, Baltimore was the start.
We're gonna corset your ass up, Daphne.
Yeah, no, absolutely, you know. But I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna put my foot in your back.
Right.
We're gonna pull this off.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I did say I did want to do Baltimore again next year, but you know, I guess we just I just haven't thought about it. I don't know. We'll see. You know, yeah, exactly. That's exactly. This was so much fun. What the hell am I thinking?
We're talking about it now, but when it gets closer, we're gonna be like, why
do we do this?
And we'll go get some Chinese food and watch
right,
a movie
exactly.
Okay,
right. Yeah. watch my sister play Monster Hunter on the Switch, and you know, and it's like, yeah, you know, convention. There was a convention. What? You know, so yeah, I don't know, you know, so it's like, it's one of those things, right? But you know, I did sign up for Mocha, although I have to wait until I get accepted, but I kind of doubt it. I've for some reason, like I said, Mocha started off as like a really independent alt comic book convention, and now it's just turned into like a stationery convention, you know, where you literally have people cutting out stickers by hand at the table. You know, it's like, you know, where it's more like a graphic design stationery thing now rather than an alt comic book convention. So they didn't accept me last year. I don't know if they're going to accept. I doubt that they'll accept me this year. So it's like, I remember we once years ago, we were at Small Press Expo in Maryland. Not in Baltimore proper, it's someplace else in Maryland. And we were literally getting complaints that we were too mainstream for Small Press Expo. And it's like, you have Frank Miller as a guest. You know, it's like, what? You know, so I don't know. It was, you know, I don't know. It was a thing. It was, I don't know. Yeah, it's like I said, it's like I'm kind of like, oh, maybe it's just the whole, I just need to go outside rather than go to a convention. I don't know.
We can go touch grass. Hey, we can go back to Costco Beach.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes. I don't know how my October, November got so busy, but we're doing conventions almost every weekend. Yeah. We used to do that back in the day. We literally were doing like conventions twice a month. Like SPX is too finicky. Yeah, what? I mean, it's like, yeah, it's they're nutty over there, they're nutty over there. Like they don't know what they
They be
want
tripping.
over there. Yeah. You know, and we used there was exactly. Exactly. It's kind of like when George Lucas was at the Spirit Awards, but that was different because everybody really was uptight about that. But we were doing like conventions once a week, like especially during the summer. I think at our busiest. I mean, it was crazy. It's like every weekend we had a convention, and it's like, you know what? Do I really miss that? Do I really miss that? Like I said, maybe it has more to do with, maybe I just need to go outside, touch grass, go to Costco Beach. Maybe that's what I'm really fiending for. Not really going to a convention. Although I have to admit, though, you know what my favorite part of a convention is? The setup. That's my favorite part of the convention. Like I don't know, it's like setting up the table, and especially this thought about taking the wire thing and building kind of like a mini castle or something like that. It kind of like, makes my I don't know, my DIY nerves itch, where it's like, gosh. It's so crafty. I like building things, it's like maybe, I don't know. I like that moment, where it's like we're building it, and then it's like the table is finally set up and it looks beautiful. The banners are up, and then the show starts and ruins it.
There's people.
Yeah,
fuck them people. Guys.
Right. It's like people.
No.
I mean, yeah, and it's there's just kind of like, it's like I like that moment during setup. It's like conventions are kind of like everyone has this love-hate relationship with them. But setup was always my favorite part of the convention. And then it would die the second those doors open. So I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah. And I guess what? Like you just get like really overwhelmed or something. It is a lot of people.
It's a lot. Like my favorite part is doing the run through the hey fuck you, hey, fuck you, and just like because it's like it doesn't take long. Now behind the table might be different, and now with my new job, I probably will be doing that a little more.
Oh, okay.
But as far as being out on a floor, trying to interview or do shit like that has always been hard for me because it doesn't take much for me to get sensory overload.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of times at conventions, the very first thing I do when I get to wherever it's being held is find my spot. And I tell everybody, if you can't find me on the floor, this is where I'll be.
Right.
Usually under a stairwell or in a dark corner somewhere.
Yeah.
Where it's like I could just put on the noise reducing headphones and soothe myself for a little bit and then head back out and do it again.
Right. It's like, yeah. So it's like if we ever go to a convention, we need like that Nita cubby underneath. Right. We need.
I swear to God, I'll just sit under your table.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm gonna be right here for a few minutes. I don't want anybody to look at me, talk to me, touch me.
It's like, oh,
my headphones. I'll be good in a little bit.
Right. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you need a little cubby with a little blanket, a little pillow.
Don't look at me.
Not for nothing. I've seen people do that. I've seen people do that. That they're just
you
like
have
they're
sensory
sleeping.
perception disorder, it can do a number on you.
Yeah. That they're sleeping under the table. It's like they're just like I mean, yeah, it's like they have their little cozy spot underneath, that whole thing. So, I mean, it's not really that surprising. Although
Right.
it's like, although that would require you to have enough space for your stock, so you're not taking
Right.
up
Right.
all that space, right? But yeah, so I hope everybody who was at New York Comic Con did well. Also, it reminded me too that because I saw George did really well too, and it also reminded me that I have a show with George tonight at 8
Ooh.
p.m. I don't know if it's going to be live or I think it's going to be live streamed. I don't think he does like he doesn't. I don't think he really does pre-recorded
Is it
show.
his writer show?
Yeah, I think
Oh
that might be
yeah. He
pre-recorded.
pre-records. Yeah, he
That
pre-records.
pre-record. So either way, it reminds me that I have the show with him today. So we're going to be it's his writer's show, and we are going to be talking in depth craft about Eager Raven, and I'm very excited. I'm
Ooh.
very excited. It's like because that's the part that I enjoy, not the marketing of the book, but actually talking about the book.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, so if it's not live, uh we'll definitely put up a link when it does become
Oh yeah.
available on YouTube. Um your title today is kind of interesting. Although we're kind of like we just touched on it a little bit, but so it's like, yeah, so I think that we're all like certain levels of neurospicy. I like that word.
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
that
Me
word.
too.
Uh,
I'm totally okay with that.
right. So what
Some of us are just
inspired?
spicier than others.
Yeah. So what inspired the title today?
What inspired the title is the
Yeah.
fact that my ADHD brain was so bad the past 3 days that
Uh-huh.
I completely forgot to even make the vlog today. But I've been hyper focused on other shit and
Right.
have made so much progress. And I'm like, oh wait, I have other shit to do.
Right.
And so it was just like, I don't know.
Oh, I
I
see.
needed a title, and it look, I'm blaming it. It was either that or what the fuck.
Right. Well,
Like
that's true. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
trying to be creative.
Well, I mean, it's like, look, I mean, comic books
It's
definitely
effort.
attract. It definitely attracts a certain personality. That's for sure. And I kind of think that it's the people like the people who are having a really really hard time at it or something. I think that um yeah, maybe you're just not spicy enough. I don't know, because it's kind of like a compulsion for most of us, to do this. Like I can't, well, but also it's like I can't imagine myself doing anything else. I don't have any other marketable skills on a certain level. Um
I'm not interested enough in anything else.
right, yeah, that's true.
I'm
Yeah, that is funny that I'm not interested enough, in
just
other
not.
things. Like the skills that I have is because I was interested in it. The fact that I ended up working for several years in a print shop is because I'm interested in that. Like I've mentioned that if I had to get a job or something, like I would try like I would try to like find a job that, like maybe work in a silkscreen shop or an embroidery shop or something, so I could learn the machines. Like there's something like I don't know, like I could never be a cubicle person.
Mm-mm.
Like
No,
I
no.
like no, it's like I have to be like physically doing something, which probably regulates me for the rest of my life to low end retail. But whatever. But yeah, it's definitely like I know what I know and I do what I do because it's like that's just what I'm interested in, not because
Because
it's like,
we
oh,
hyper fixate and it's what
yeah,
we excel at.
right, yeah, exactly. Um, it's so that's kind of um yeah. Oh, also there was something else I wanted to talk about today. What did I want to talk about today? There was a couple of things, right?
Oh no, you didn't tell me.
I know I didn't. I just it was just at this. I just thought of this morning, right? So I guess keeping it on comics, right? So
Okay.
Jose is watching Penguin on what, HBO Max.
So see. Yeah.
So they're watching that, right? And I don't pay attention much to television. It's like I'm just like I said, it's like you said, we hyperfixate, and it's like when it's like it's pointless to recommend shows to me. It really is
Right.
because it's like, oh, you should really watch this, and I go, yeah, sure, and then never watch it.
There's only one show I would do that with currently for everyone.
For House of the Dragon.
No, fuck that. Dude, guys, check it out on MGM.
Right.
It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, but yeah, like even House of the Dragon, like that caught my attention for a little bit, and then I go, oh, I got shit to do, that type of thing, right? It seems like I only have energy for two things, right? Working on my comic and reading smutty novels. That's all I have. That's all. Like this is my copium right here. This is pure unadulterated copium. Like it's like it's either I'm working on my comic or I'm working on this. Like I downloaded Fear and Loathing, and I just
still hadn't got to it,
and I still haven't gotten to it because, like, you know what? No, I need. I need this. I need something a little, this. I need this. Whatever this is what I need. So, like I said, this is pure copium. so that's all I'm like I can focus on. It's like right now, it's like I am on page 16. I'm pretty sure this is page 16. Page 16 of Eagle Raven issue 9, which officially puts me after I'm done with this last panel, it puts me, actually, let me double check. Is it 16? I could have sworn it was 16. That I'm like halfway. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, 16 pages, which puts me officially halfway through finishing issue 9. So I'm going to finish this, and then I have to do some like other things. I have to finish some stuff for Jose. I have to actually start on my next batch of commissions for House of Bob. So I figured like, okay, halfway is a good point. And then it's like, I have to actually sketch out like more pages for Tall Tales. I only have the one page that I started on a stream, and it's like, you know what, I should at least get 8 pages, sketched out, just to at least like get a scene done, so I can at least like kind of like start inking that. At least I don't have to worry about coloring it. So I already lettered it out, which gives me an idea as to how the story is going to flow. So, and it turned out to be 36 pages. So already Tall Tales issue 7 is 36 pages. No, it's 40. Who said, what was that? What was that? I mean,
he said he envies you playing administrator for the rest of the crew. I've been neglecting my own work.
Oh,
sometimes that's a sacrifice we have to make for the greater good, because I'm there right now.
Right. Oh, so where was I? Oh, it's like, oh yeah, Penguin. Right. Okay. So Jose's watching Penguin on HBO Max, right? And I know tangentially, superficially, that this is supposed to be like a Batman series without Batman in it, right? And and I listen to some of it because he's watching it and I'm working, and holy, someone's having a really strong barbecue, or either that or something's on fire. So I don't know. I haven't decided.
We'll know in a moment.
Yeah. No, there's this house over there that they have this tendency to burn shit. Like they do like gardening and stuff, and then like they burn. Like I don't even know if that's even legal to do here, but it's like whatever.
Well,
so
depends. I think you can if it's contained.
Right. Like they're constantly burning shit over there. So maybe that's what it is. So I don't know. It's this one house that's constantly doing that. So so it's a Batman series without Batman in it, right? So I'm listening to it. And and then it's like, holy shit, that's Colin Farrell, like like he's he brought James Gandolfini from the dead, you know, to do this role, right? Like it's and sometimes the shit sounds like I think he's watching The Sopranos, but he's not, you know. So it's just him watching,
Gangster.
right, you know. And you know, and then it's like, you know, I'm listening to some of it, and it's just like, you know, and it's like really, really serious. Like they're talking about like the drug trade in Gotham City and this, that, and the other thing. Like it's like it's really a dark show, you know,
Right.
and then it's like, you know, I'm listening to it. It's like, wow, it's like The Sopranos and blah,
There
blah.
was a house.
Right. There was a house. Yes. There's a house 2 doors down that caught on fire, and they've never done anything with it. And the shit is still worth like 6 figures as it
Yeah.
is. You know, it's ridiculous. It's like it's pre-gutted.
I seen it.
Yeah. You know, and then it's like, you know, I'm listening. It's like, holy shit, this thing. It's like, it sounds like sometimes I think he's watching The Sopranos. Sometimes I think he's just watching something else, you know, but it's like, and then I realize it's like, the more real, like I know that they wanted to do like this really realistic, gritty series based on Batman, you know, but it really hit me, you know, like the thought of the Penguin, you know, controlling like this drug trade, you know, in Gotham City / New York, as it always is, you know. And I'm like going, holy shit. The more I listen to how absolutely gritty and realistic or whatever, you know, this show is, the more stupid the concept of Batman is.
Right.
You know, and I was telling Jose this yesterday. It's like, holy shit, like this just hit me. Like, it's like, here's the Penguin. Like, you know, it's like, it's not like, it was funny was that this is always a complaint that my father had about modern comic books, where they were just like, you know, like he hated, like I had a copy of George Perez's Teen Titans lying around, right? And he was looking at it. He goes, "This is stupid." He goes, "What the point is this?"
What?
You know, it's like he didn't understand the artwork. He didn't understand like he complained specifically about
Those
Starfire
were the
Air,
best.
you know. And he was talking about, he goes, you know, the comics that I grew up with is like, I grew up with Captain Marvel, Shazam, right? And it's like, you know what the stories were like? It was Dr. Sylvana stealing all of the world's clocks so that nobody could tell time. And Shazam had to like find all the clocks. I mean, it was just like, you know, he was telling me, and it's like, and it was, and it's like, and then it's like, I remembered, oh, it's like, holy shit. Like he's talking about like also like the Batman, the original Batman series, right? And how like campy and it's like, you know, and it's like, it's literally like produced for children, you know?
Right.
So it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like, you know, you had, right, yeah. And it's like, and they're all doing
Triggered.
like dumb shit, you know? And it's like, because it's for kids, you know? It's like, nobody is going to talk about the heroin trade on Adam West Batman, you know? But we're getting that in, you know, in the Penguin show, right? Oh. Well, you know, nowadays they post that on TikTok.
Could have went viral.
You know, could have went viral. Yeah. So yeah. So the crime was very low stakes. You know, it was very childlike. It's the difference. Childlike and childish are 2 different things.
Right.
You know, so like the sense of crime in those old, you know, in that old comic media, right? It was more low stakes because it was for children. You know, what do children know about the heroin trade? You know? Like we're not watching
well, nowadays,
right? It's like, you know, but you know, but it's like, you know, it's like, you know, oh, we're going to steal this painting, you know, or it's like, you know, or something. Not that, you know, you know, but it was just something like, I don't know,
Madonna with the big
right?
boobies.
You know, right? Exactly. You know? you know? And but now it's like we're literally talking about the Penguin instead of like stealing the Madonna with the big boobies. Now it's like, oh, I run the heroin underground of Gotham City. And it's like, and then you think about, what's Batman's job after this? And I just thought about it. I go, wait a minute. It's like, Batman's entire thing is punching bad guys in the mouth. Like that was like the one thing that hasn't changed pretty much. It's like, oh, what do? I punch bad guys in the mouth. I have family trauma and I punch bad guys in the mouth. That's it. That's all Batman does. Meanwhile, Penguin is running like heroin. He's running a citywide heroin trade, wherever the fuck that he's doing, right? And it's like, oh, and then there's Batman. And it's like, really? And there was this criticism that I had read that they said that it was a mistake that DC had decided to turn Batman from a millionaire to a billionaire, right? And the way they explained it, right, is that if Bruce Wayne was just a millionaire, then the concept of Batman just turns him into an eccentric rich guy. But now that Bruce Wayne is a billionaire, this is a man who could buy his way out of anything. This is a man who could literally buy crime out of the city. It's like this is literally, like it's a billionaire. This is a man who has more money than fucking country GDP, the GDP of countries. But the Penguin is running a whole heroin underground in the city that he lives in. What the fuck does Batman do? Right?
Huh.
I mean,
well, the modern Batman has the no kill. I mean, there was a time where the Batman had a kill list,
right?
So,
well,
but
which kind of
the whole DC implemented rule of the no shooting, no this, that, yeah.
Like this is the weapon of the enemy, and we will not use it. Right? Yeah, it's like but at this point, it's like, okay, what is you're just a fucking weirdo. It's like, and in the end, it's like, holy shit. It's like, yeah, it's like Batman is just a wealthy, ineffective weirdo
dude that walks around punching people with all these cool toys.
Right, in the mouths. Like really, like he as Jose put it, it's like, yeah, it's like here's a billionaire who gets into a truck that's worth $100 million just to punch a bad guy in the face. And it's like, yeah, it's like, now it's just like, no, you're a fucking weirdo. You're not an eccentric helping the city, being like a vigilante. Now you're just a fucking billionaire weirdo. He's Elon Musk. Which is funny because I'm not saying that as a compliment.
No, it's funny.
I am not saying it's like, oh,
it's funny because it's true.
Weirdo. Here's a billionaire weirdo.
It's funny because it's true.
I mean, it's like, so now the whole concept makes even less sense to me. Although Jose says, oh, well, it ties into the next movie, and I go, oh, good for them. It's not like I'm going to watch it, right?
That's why C's watching it.
But the thing is, but that's also
again,
right, exactly. But conversely, that makes characters like the Punisher and Daredevil makes more sense. Because the Punisher, especially, because it's like, this is pretty much because he's just as impotent, in making any, like doing anything about crime in the city, but at least he's killing people, and that makes sense. Daredevil, I mean, he doesn't kill people because of Catholic guilt, but he's just as impotent as both a lawyer and a superhero. It's like he's just as useless. Like, it's kind of like, I guess it's like they're more symbolic of like how like crime in the city is like this giant wave that individual people cannot fight against, you know? And then, you know, and that's the thing. It's like the Punisher's not a billionaire. The Daredevil's not a billionaire, but Batman is. This is a man who can afford to fight that tide, and he doesn't. You know, but to be fair, though, right? I know for a fact, not even me, nobody wants to watch a show about Batman, but Law and Order. Or maybe we would want to watch that. It's like, I don't know. It's like that. Technically, it's Daredevil.
Well, we watched this spoof. We watched Harvey Birdman turning.
You know, I mean, it's like nobody wants to see Batman open up community centers. You know, it's like that makes for a boring comic. You know, nobody wants to see Batman. You know, I don't know, running for mayor or you know, running for governor, and then like realizing that it's like, oh, the problems are you can't just throw money at problems without a proper, you know,
right.
You know, plan for this. You know, it's like, you know, and it's, you know, and it's like that's boring. Nobody wants to see that, you know. So it's like, yeah, so on one, so what happens when you end up with a character like that? Then, like, in the end, it's like, you know, Batman's stupid. I mean, what happens at that point? You know, at least like something like the Avengers, they kind of make sense because they're like a proxy for militarization, for national militarization. They work for the military. They're, you know, it's like, except even worse, though, they're a private military, which is not good, you know, but at least that kind of makes sense. You know, it's like, oh, these are superheroes that work for the government, or they're contracted with the government, you know,
and they kill people.
And they kill people. And it's like,
they eliminate, excuse me, they eliminate problems.
Right. It's like, yes, they're international neutralizers. Yeah. They can have a little genocide as a treat. They you know, so
and we're banned on YouTube.
Right. And we're not monetized, so it doesn't matter. You know, so yeah, so what happens when it's like you kind of like get to a point where you make your fantasy character so realistic
that there's no fantasy?
That there's no fantasy in it. And that's also kind of like something that I, you know, that I kind of wrangle with when it comes to like, yeah, exactly. He would do that. That it's like, you know, the bat missile. You know, and it's like, that's something that's always been like, I think that's what happens when your world building goes a little too haywire. Like when it comes to creating your world, no matter what it is, whether it's a superhero or like a fantasy or something, like a medieval fantasy, like I'm doing, right? So it's like, you know, I write Eagle Raven, and I'm a pantser. I make it up as I go along. Right. I do have moments where I have to outline stuff. It's like, okay, I want these things to happen. And then it's like, how do I get from point A to point B to point C?
Right.
You know, right. And then it's like, also the thing is too, is that you want to create a world where the reason why people kind of complain that, oh, this is dumb, this is not realistic, is because the rules of your world don't make sense.
Right. You have to keep with your rules.
Like, right. You know, so it's like there has to be a consistency in the
They can be whatever,
right.
But it has to be consistent.
Right. You know, so, you know, and then that's what, you know, and that's what like creates the reality, no matter what the situation, no matter what you're writing. So I have very certain rules in Eagle Raven that I always make sure that I'm consistent with. Like one of the main rules in Eagle Raven is that just because you can like magic exists, but people really don't trust it. It's kind of like, you know, chaos energy and people, and there's certain people who can focus it, but like how do you create a world where people are not magicking themselves out of everything, right? So it's like you kind of have to nerf that type of power in order to create a more down to earth setting, you know, where people are like, well, oh, we'll just magic our way out, right?
Right.
You know, and something like superheroes, like even though like Jose always said that he never really liked Superman because Superman was just like nothing, you can't do anything to him.
Right.
So it's
A
like
rock from his home planet is the only
right,
thing that
yeah,
affects
you
him.
can't
Like,
really, you
yeah,
know,
no.
you know, so it's like, so I think that what I'm realizing kind of like superficially, because in the end I really don't give a shit. Yeah, this I have to
Same.
remind everybody.
I'm not
I have,
interested. That should
yeah,
just be the name of
right.
today's
It's
show.
like I have like I'm talking about it on a very superficial level, but in the end it's like I have no dog in this fight. You know, it's like,
Right.
you know, DC's gonna do whatever the fuck. If you like the show, that's fine, whatever. I don't really care. But it's like, but I'm talking about it as someone who just kind of like has this tangential knowledge of it. And it's like, this
Right.
story is weird. The story is strange. Like, why is that? You know, it's like
I ain't feeling it.
right, I ain't feeling it, you know, because it's like the
Right.
rules don't make sense anymore to me. Like before, like, yeah, when Batman was just a weird eccentric, when he was just an eccentric, you know, running around in a bat costume because he felt like he couldn't do anything about the violence in you know, he couldn't do anything about the violence in the city, right? He's just kind of like a sexier version of Bernie Getz, you know. You know, if ever, you know, it's like the very, very New York history there. You know, Bernie Getz, you know, it's like he was the subway vigilante where I think he had his, he beat some thugs up with a hammer. I think it was.
Was it a hammer?
I don't remember, but it's Bernie Getz, right?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, and again, it's like this is a guy who kind of like took matters into his own hands because of the impotency that he felt, you know, with his environment. And you know, and it's like, and Batman is kind of like the same thing at a certain level. But like I said, once he became like this billionaire riding around in trucks that are, you know, in military trucks and whatnot, just to punch a guy in the face, it's like, okay, what are you doing? None of this makes sense anymore. It's like, this is not cute anymore type of thing, right? And you know, and it's like, and from a writing perspective, I'm like looking, that's kind of like how I'm looking at it. Like I said, I have no, if you like it, that's fine. That's not what I'm talking, in the end, that's not what I'm talking about. I don't watch it. But it's like, from a writing perspective, it's like, how did this make sense to the people writing it? If somebody's superficially looking at it going, this doesn't make any sense at all, you know? You know, it's so it's like, yeah, so from a storytelling perspective, I'm like, what is this? Right? And but like I said, the Punisher I can understand. Daredevil I can understand. You know, it's like that makes sense in that world that was built for those characters. You know, this doesn't make sense. You know, so you know, so yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's like, at what point do you remove so much of the fantasy? Because in the end, that's what it is, where it's like, they wanted it to be so gritty and realistic that by removing the fantasy, the logic of the story collapses. If they just wanted to do The Wire Part 2 or Part 3, whatever, I don't know, I didn't watch The Wire either. If they just wanted, I watch no TV whatsoever. At this, I just watch if it doesn't fit in like a YouTube in a YouTube video, I'm not watching it. It's like if they were just doing like, I don't know, Law and Order or something, okay, then you're talking about a crime boss. If you're doing another The Sopranos, more episodes of Sopranos where Tony is talking about, you know, the heroin trade, right? It's like, okay, that makes sense. It's the context of the world, right? But this is supposedly attached to a fantasy concept. It's like it's a superhero comic. It's based on a superhero comic. So, but in their attempt to make it so realistic, the fantasy part becomes stupid. Am I the only one who's thinking this way? I think I just might be the only one thinking this way.
No, I agree.
That it's like, even when you had something like The Watchmen, when that came out, right? It's like you had The Watchmen, you had The Dark Knight Returns, right? It still had enough of a fantasy element in it,
right?
That it's like, yeah, it's about superheroes. The concept of superheroes itself is fantasy.
And now it's just rich people and drug dealers.
Right. Now it's just weird billionaires and drug dealers. It's like, what's the fun in that? What is that? Why that it doesn't even need to be a Batman thing at that point.
That's
right?
Every day in Venom Springs, Louisiana.
It's like, our own mayor got indicted for corruption. I mean, it's like, what, it's like, and being the quintessential New Yorker, I barely know who the guy is. I didn't even know. Look, after they got rid of Cuomo, it's like and De Blasio, it's like it's like, oh, we have a mayor, we have a governor.
Who are these people?
Yeah, who are these people? I don't know. It's like, as long as shit functions, it's like you can just switch out bodies, and that's it. We wouldn't know.
Keep this seat warm.
Right, exactly. So yeah, so at what point do you like, you're working on a comic, you're working on fantasy, at what point do you rein back the realism to keep that fantasy going? Do you know what I mean? Am I making any sense?
Well, hopefully, I get it. But hopefully you continued that flow from Go, and you don't have to rein anything in, because you stuck to the rules of your universe and applied them.
Like, I kind of wonder, like, if that's what happens when it's like you have multiple writers on something, where it's like the story just gets passed on. Do you remember, did you ever do this thing in school? Well, it wasn't art school, so maybe we did it a little. Well, it's kind of like telephone, right? But we did it so that we folded up the page. We still folded up the paper into squares, right? And then you had to draw something in the square, right? And then, but the thing is, though, because of the way it's folded, like, nobody could tell like what the thing was that you started. So the next artist that got the paper, they would continue the drawing in the square.
Right.
And then it's like, at the end, everybody would unfold, and you would get this like absolutely insane, thing where it's like, or it's like there was another version of it where it's like you would draw a comic book panel. You would just draw a panel. And then the next person would just draw the next panel after that. And then it's like, it would fold, so the person would only see the previous panel. And then it's like you would open it up, and you'd have like the most retarded comic ever, because nobody knew what the previous person
what the hell it was, right?
I'm
special.
Right. And I kind of wonder if maybe that's like kind of what's happening. It's like the next person kind of like wants to make it their own. So it's kind of like what happened with Star Wars, right? Instead of just writing the story straight, the next director, I'm going to make it my own. And that's not the point, or something like that. Do. And then it's like they start making these changes. Oh, I'm going to make it more gritty. I'm going to make it more realistic. And then it's like, before you know it, they've completely taken out everything that was appealing about the original story.
Right.
It's like they remove the fantasy because they have to be different. And it's like, look, originality is overrated.
Right.
Originality is overrated. It's like when we're talking about like indie comics, doing our own books. It's how all we're doing is taking concepts that we know already, that we recognize, and we're writing it in our own way. I keep saying, it's like, look, Eagle Raven as a unicorn girl is a dime a dozen. You go on DeviantArt and you type in unicorn girl and you get thousands of entries. It's like, conceptually, there's nothing original about it. But the way I'm writing my story is, because it's my story. It's kind of like the dick who says, like, oh, it's like a Corna ripoff. And it's like, no, it's not. It's like, if you're saying, no, it's not, it's because that's Anne McCaffrey and this is me. So we're two different people, two different stories, and you're an idiot. It's like, that's all that is. And it's like, yeah, it's like they take out they take out so much of the fantasy. Oh, it has to be realistic, it has to make sense. But it's like, yeah, but realism and making sense are not, they're not exactly mutually exclusive. If it follows the rules of your world, it's going to make sense. No matter how ridiculous it is, it's going to make sense. But yes, it's only one me. There's 1,000 of yous and only one of me. So that's kind of like what the whole thing had me thinking about, that it's like, yeah, the rules of your story, like, your story makes sense because it follows the rules of your story. And once you take out those rules of the story, i.e. forgetting that this is a fantasy, then the story stops making sense.
Huh.
I mean, like I said, this is all based on what little I know about this series. If Jose was just watching a regular, it's like just a crime show, it's like, okay, that's what it is, right? But the second you put in, oh, it's the Penguin, it leads into the next Batman movie, and it's like, now it's not making as much sense,
right?
So it's like, I don't know. But then again, this is why I don't watch a lot of TV. Because I'm sure that there's people screaming in the audience, goes, well, if you watch the show, you understand this, and that, and it's based on Batman Year One and this, that, and the other thing. And I go, look, I don't care. I don't care.
I'm just not that interested.
I'm just not that interested. It's like, conceptually at this moment, that's what I'm interested in. This little, but look, after this conversation, it's like, I'm not going to think about it again. And it's like, no, I'm not interested enough in the story to like, yeah, watch look, I barely watched The Witcher, okay? And I gave up on that series for much more superficial reasons than this. So read the book. I'd rather read the book, so yeah, so it's like, okay, maybe the people who are in the know, people who are watching, like, oh, well, you're not watching it, that's why you're not understanding it. And it's like, okay, all right, I'm fine with that too. But I think, like, looking at it, it's like, yeah, it's like, at what point, when does the fantasy come back? When do they remind people this is actually a Batman story? It's about a superhero, or it's supposed to be about a superhero, it's a superhero story. When does that come back? Melissa says, I'm tired of having to do all this homework just to enjoy a movie that will probably come out in the next few years. If your movie can't stand alone without 50 spin-offs, then it's not a good movie. Well, it's content. It's content. It's not about it. I mean, what was it I was watching yesterday? It was a video essay about why everyone has streaming fatigue, right? The whole
Right.
idea of, and one of the things that they were talking about was that the studios, they kind of like they're just treating everything as content. Like they don't even care anymore if you're loyal to a show anymore. As long as they have your subscription money,
That's all that matters.
it doesn't matter what you like or don't like. As long as you're paying that monthly fee, they're just going to crank shit out, and and that's kind of it. It just has to be good enough to have your attention just long enough that
Yeah.
you may
And that's why we
prioritize it
canceled
from your
several subscriptions.
that it's like that you'll prioritize watching your TV over your phone screen. But in the end, it's just like it's what do they call it? They call it media Muzak or something like that. A movie, like it's like the movie version of Muzak, where it's just something that you just play in the background. That it's like, you know what? Maybe Pinguin isn't supposed to make sense now. Maybe it's not supposed to make sense because they're expecting you to be watching TikTok videos at the same time. I don't know. Because it makes no sense to me. So that's part of my disinterest in it, I guess. It's like, but then again, like I said, I've yet to watch the entirety of House of the Dragon. And that interested me, but not enough to actually sit down and watch it. So I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I just need to go outside. Maybe that's what needs to happen. I just need to go outside. So I don't have to think about this. I don't have to think about why Pinguin doesn't make any sense. Why Batman is a billionaire weirdo. It's like, no, if I go outside, I don't have to think about this. Yeah, it's like, as long as one thing is good enough for you to renew a subscription, why bother with too much quality? Right. Yeah.
And notice, all these channels rotate out 1 or 2 solid shows at a time.
Right.
That's it. The rest is just fucking filler. With HBO, you've got them switching out. I can't remember one series, and then Game of Thrones and House of Dragon, and they're rotating those fucking out to keep you fucking subscribed to them. MGM right now has fucking From, which is fucking fantastic, people.
Right.
And they'll have something come along when they go off. And it's just how they roll. Disney was doing the same thing.
Right. I think that if I were to keep one streaming service, it would be HBO. But I wouldn't watch it either. I wouldn't watch any of it. I wouldn't watch it. I would just have it. Just not watch it. But, probably because I use Game of Thrones as reference a lot. So I'm constantly going into
right.
And but it's probably because of that, not because of anything else, really. It's just like, oh, I keep HBO for reference. Oh my god! You know what? Yeah, I got things to do today, so we're gonna keep it an hour. We're gonna stop it here right now. So, any final thoughts? Any final thoughts?
I haven't had a first thought.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it's been a rough. It's been a busy. It's been busy. I wouldn't say it's been rough. It's just been busy and frustrating. But nothing we can't get over.
Right. So, and I traumatized myself yesterday, so I didn't sleep, and then I got work just overflowing.
Right. There you go. So. So thank you everybody for joining us on this, whatever this was today. I don't know, but it was comic related. So I don't know. Thank you everybody in the chat for joining us and putting in your 2 cents in this economy, and thank you so much to the eyeball people for for watching us while you were working and having us in the background as music, however you needed to listen to us. We were more than happy to oblige. So thank you so much for watching us as well. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my other stuff, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you are interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates, that's where I post everything. And you can also find me on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, for videos and semi-weekly art live streams. Because Jesus Christ, it's like I don't know. I really. Look, when I run a live stream, I do it. When I don't, I don't. But when I do, it's on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. 2 hours of me just working and talking with the chat, kind of like being at a convention, but without you having to worry about if you're blocking my table or not. Also, remember, you can read Eager Raven, Heir the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears in the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. Also, remember that Tears in the Mother goes live next Monday with the first volume collecting issues 1 through 4 of this 8-issue limited series. Link is in the chat and in the show notes. And also, if you want to continue reading everything for free, you can head on over to Webtoons, where you can read Eager Raven and Tall Tales from the very beginning for free. Eager Raven updates every Tuesday, and Tall Tales updates every Thursday. Eager Raven just finished the first issue. We're all in the second issue right now, and Tall Tales just finished the first issue as well and just started the second. So yeah. So if you want to read everything for free and check everything out before you go to any Kickstarters, it's on Webtoons. Read it at your leisure, and yes, and I don't know, and like I don't know. Do you subscribe on Webtoons? I don't know. It's like there's a little
follow, whatever you do.
Yeah,
do connect to it. Connect.
Yeah, do whatever you do on Webtoons. Give me a little thumbs up or whatever it is you do over there, just to show that you are reading it on Webtoons and enjoying it. And thank you everybody who rated Eager Raven at 10. 10 out of 10 stars. I think that's thank you so much for that. Tall Tales got a 7, but it's a lucky 7. So thank you so much for that as well. So thank you so much again for joining us on this Monday. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. So when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.